Evening, everybody. So here's an attempt at the video that how I try to explain how I'm going to exit the market. Hold on to your hats, could get a bit complicated, and I'm going to talk about all of the processes from start to end. So, in order to exit the market, I think that the best way to look at it or the market is in the 4-year cycle theory. So, 4-year cycle theory is that first of all, I'd say the 4-year cycle theory, it starts at the Bitcoin halvening. The Bitcoin halvening this year will reduce the supply of Bitcoin being mined from 1,800 Bitcoin per day to 900 Bitcoin per day. What that does is it creates a supply demand shock. So since the supply goes down by half, the demand stays the same, but because it's going to be a bull cycle, the demand will increase. That then causes Bitcoin to go up in price. Sorry about all of this scratching and head moving and stuff. That causes Bitcoin to go up in price. And it creates a bubble, and then eventually the bubble bursts. Now, the halvenings have happened in 2012, 2016, and 2020. The bubbles were popped for Bitcoin in November 2013, December 2017, and November 2021. So if this cycle's Bitcoin halvening is in April, which it should be, some like the 17th, the 19th, the 21st of April, then of 2024, then the Bitcoin top by rights should be November, December 2025. So I don't hold Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is, I have invested in it before. I did a little bit I did entirely in the 2017 cycle, and I did for little bits in 2020, although I didn't hold it into 2021. I haven't bought any this cycle so far. I'm not saying that I won't, because I might, but I haven't bought any this cycle so far. So there's a definite 4-year pattern of the halvening and the Bitcoin top. The altcoins normally top out in spring, the spring of the same year of the Bitcoin top. So that would mean that the altcoin market should reach the top by spring of 2025. So we're looking at a year now, guys, a year away. Now, there are some outliers. This is just like a general rule. It's not a hard rule. It's a general rule. I can't tell you when the top will be, but there are outliers. For instance, Cardano in the 2021 cycle had a massive run in the spring of 2021, and then it topped out in September, and it nearly hit $3, which is really exciting if you were holding Cardano at the time. And there are other outliers and so on and so forth. Generally, also, the market has an order of rotation. So generally, you'll see Bitcoin top, you'll see Ethereum top, then you'll see the meme coins run. You might see the gaming tokens all move in unison. You might see the AI tokens move in unison, the DeFi tokens move in unison. And the utility coins, which are things like XRP, Algorand, IOTA, XLM, HBAR, so on and so forth. So in the coming, right, so that's the order or how things have happened in the past. So I'm going to be extremely cold-blooded, like cold-blooded. I want out of this market, and I want to get out of it with a little bit of money in my back pocket. And it's really important that I don't overhold, and it's really important that I don't overhold, miss the top, and then sell as it's going down whilst the token's lost 80% of its value, whichever token it is. It's really important I don't do that. So based on the timings is when I'm probably going to sell. So, but then there are outliers, right? So I can't give you a hard and fast rule, but XRP in the 2017 cycle, for instance, if XRP does do what it did in 2017, and we're about to find out, it's not going to be long until we find out, then we might expect XRP to actually have a blow off the top after Bitcoin. If there isn't a third wave before the Bitcoin top, there should be a third wave after the Bitcoin top. That could be the 3-digit price, and it could happen in the early start of 2026. Like in 2017, Bitcoin topped out on about, I think it was the 17th or the 21st of December, about $22,000. And then XRP didn't top out until January the 4th, 2018. So if XRP were to do that, then I would look at the market. I would say, right, XRP's had 2 waves. It hasn't topped out. It's now November, December 2025. XRP still hasn't had a third wave. I'm going to hold a little bit of my tokens and wait and see if there is that third wave. And potentially that could be a 3-digit XRP. If I'm a flare holder, I might have a look at previous tokens like Cardano, like the blueprint of Cardano, or like what Polkadot did, because Polkadot's a DeFi token, and so is Cardano, so is Flare, and Polkadot was an exceptional performer in the 2020 and 2021 cycle. I could have a look at that chart and see when Polkadot topped out, and I know that Cardano topped out in the September of 2021, so it might not necessarily be spring, but this is what I'll be looking to do. And it's really important that what I think it's worth is not what it is worth. The market decides what it's worth, not me. And although it's difficult to say when the top is, but obviously there'll be loads of advice at the time, or as much advice as I can give, and you really ought to do your own research. The other thing is that once I have cashed out, it's really important that I do not leave more than £85,000 in a UK financial institution. For instance, if I have a Starling bank account and a NatWest bank account, they're actually the same financial institution. And in the UK, we're only insured up to £85,000 per financial institution. In the UK, we also have bail-in laws. So like in 2022 and 2023, when there were banks crashing in the US and a couple in Europe, if banks do start crashing, and I expect that they will actually, I really do. I think banks are going to start keeling over and dying in 2026 and 2027. I definitely do not want to have more than £85,000 per financial institution. So what can I do? Well, a good thing to do is to diversify your profits. And for me, I would diversify it in 3 ways. Vaulted gold. For instance, I keep forwarding swissgold.eu. You can transfer XRP directly into gold. By the way, gold is probably going to hit $2,500 an ounce this year, or perhaps next year, Basel III in July. So gold will become more expensive, but if you look at the gold chart, all it does is goes up like that over 10 years. It's a really good place to store money. Vaulted gold in Switzerland, or vaulted gold in the Royal Mint, or vaulted gold, and maybe have some of it at home, but don't put it in your don't keep it on your coffee table. So gold is a very good option if you ask me. It's quite, if it's vaulted, it doesn't matter how big it is, but if you keep it somewhere safe at home, or you buy a safe and put it in a safe, it's quite small for what it is. The second thing is bricks and mortar. So buy a property, buy an expensive one. You don't have to live in it. Just buy one. That is a good way to keep your money locked and safe in a house or a property, put it in bricks and mortar. That is a very good thing to do. Then you could have multiple bank accounts. And I only have two bank accounts at the moment in two different financial institutions. So I might start opening more bank accounts. The other thing that's really important, you need to have multiple exchanges to off ramp. In the last 7 days, Coinbase has crashed twice, right? Coinbase is a retail exchange aimed at retail people, and they did this on purpose. They don't want you to cash out and catch the top. This stuff isn't for you. Uphold crashed as well in the last cycles. Guys, you need 10 exchanges at minimum. And at worst, right, if you can't log into Uphold or Coinbase or these friendly exchanges, at least have like Bitrue, KuCoin, CoinEx, Bitstamp, whatever, lots, like 10 exchanges. Exchange your XRP into stablecoin. Then when the time comes, you can exchange it. So if I was going to cash out, right, and Uphold is down, I'm going to send my tokens to any exchange that is not down and that is online. I might send 25,000 here and 25,000 there or whatever, yeah, just arbitrary numbers, and um, cash it into stablecoin. Then that's sort of safe, providing that the exchange doesn't die. You've exchanged it into a stable currency that isn't going to fluctuate. Then, and this will cost you obviously to do the trade, you can then, after the volatility has died, you can trade it back into another token. It doesn't matter which token, any token, as long as it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to send, a bit like Ethereum. Then you can exchange it back into any old token. It could be XRP, it doesn't matter. Send it to Uphold, then cash it out into pounds, or send it to Coinbase and Uphold or whatever. But you need multiple exchanges if you want to have a chance to actually like cash in your money. Then like be prepared to open multiple exchanges. I personally have more than access to more than 10 exchanges because I really do want to cash out. Like, I'm not here for fun. Um, After you've cashed out, you're now going to have problems with your tax. So you don't need an accountant. I've been using a crypto app. It seems to work quite well. I've been using one called Coinly with a K. It also tracks your portfolio and gives you numbers. It's actually quite interesting. I haven't got a screenshot that I can give you, but it's a really good app. It's a little bit tricky if you're not an IT person to set up, although it isn't that difficult. I'd strongly recommend, though, using a crypto app, particularly if you've been earning money on any DeFi tokens, because the government will want their tax money, guys. So this financial year, up until April of 2024, I'm going to have to submit my tax return for this by January of 2025, and I'm going to have to pay it by April of 2025. And then for the bull market year after April this year, and into the next year, I'm going to have a tax return for that as well. Guys, you really, really, really need to have that done and sent off to HMRC, and you need to pay them, because he will come looking for you. That taxman will come looking for you, and you'll be fined and all kinds of nasty stuff. Like, the government are on it now. They weren't, but they are now. They're on it. And for instance, in America, their HMRC is called the IRS. I love this. And they have actually armed IRS. The IRS are like walking around with 9mm handguns. Like, that's how serious they are about tax. And I don't think they could get away with it here, but they are dead serious about taxing people that are making money on crypto. So, three things: diversify your money across financial institutions, up to 85,000 per institution. Don't forget that banks have, and the UK has law where we can bail in banks that crash. They can take your money. Um, The insurance will only go so far as well. It won't cover everybody in the nation because there just isn't that much money available. So be smart, cash out into metal, have some of that metal maybe at home, and the vast majority of it, get it vaulted. Yeah, leave it in a vault, leave it in safety deposit boxes, although I think it's illegal. But do it anyway. Not financial advice. Don't get caught. Don't get arrested. It wasn't me. Um, and the third thing is obviously bricks and mortar. Really good place to store a lot of money. Yeah, property is expensive, so have a think about that. Then, once you've done all of those things and you've got your house in order, like you've set everything up and you're good to go, then you can start planning the rest of your life. However, 2026 and 2027, just like 2022 and 2023, banks are going to be collapsing left, right, and centre. Interest rates are going to be going up because new money is going to have been created from these crypto cycles and the stock markets. Crypto cycle, this one is probably going to up to about $10 trillion. It's going to be absolutely chicken oriental, great fun. Lots of people are going to make a lot of money. People who aren't making money are going to suffer because things like fuel, food, rent, you name it, everything is going to go up. Banks are going to collapse. It's going to be a fucking bloodbath. And then maybe they're going to switch the system on as well, the digital system, 2027. So if you have utility tokens, you probably want to save a little bit for that, or you want to sell them and then look to do an aggressive rebuy. Say, for instance, you cashed out £100,000. Yeah, just an arbitrary number. Just say, for instance, you did. You cashed it out at £100,000 at £100 a token. So that'd be, I think that'd be about 10,000 tokens. I would probably, in all honesty, £100,000 isn't really going to change my life at all. However, XRP isn't going to sit at £100 forever. It's going to come crashing down with the rest of the market whilst we're in a speculation market. I'd probably put, minus the tax, and there are two tax tiers depending on how much money you've earned. There's a 10% capital gains tax bracket and a 20% capital gains tax bracket. So 10% would be £10,000, 20% would be £20,000 tax. So the £80,000 that's left over, I really wouldn't spend much of it on myself at all. If I were me, I would rebuy XRP once it's like sub £50 or $50 or sub $10, because it will go that low. I think if we hit triple digits, it'll be possible to buy a sub $10 XRP all day long in that bear market. So as quickly as it went up and as quickly as that bubble pops is as quickly as it comes down. So you run off like a bandit with your money and get ready for a massive rebuy. And it's silly because you'll be doing an £80,000 rebuy and maybe be picking up, I don't know, say you sold 10,000 tokens, maybe you'll be looking to buy 40,000 tokens with 80 grand. Madness. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, just a balding, hairy noob who has a dream. Enjoy.